I'm Yosvan Campos, and I moved to Oregon in the summer of 2015. I stayed for 3 months. Then I went back to San Diego to finish my undergrad. And then I came back a year later and I stayed. Well, I actually moved from Eugene to Corvallis, and I'm currently still living in Corvallis. 6 years now.
What inspired you to go on the mission team?
Well, the same reason I became a disciple is the same thing that inspired me to go on a mission team. I believe there was a greater purpose than just going through life, getting a job. I don't know. I believe there was more than that, and I mean that's why one of the main reasons why I became a disciple. The idea of helping people have a relationship with God. Get into help them through that journey. I felt like that purpose was greater than anything else I could do. I believe that you're not only changing their lives, but you are changing their eternity. And when I heard about the mission team in Eugene, Kelly Boy, he's the one who talked to me. Had this dream of planting a house church in Eugene, and then planting other house churches in throughout Oregon. And I felt the call. The call to go there and live out this purpose that helped me become a disciple. Helping other people to become disciples, have a relationship with God, and in a way which it is true. Be able to help people change their eternity. Be able to be with God one day. And yeah, and I just wanted to also just try something new. That's why I moved to Oregon.
So it's super fun. I'm not going to do this when I talk to people, but Kelly also said, do you remember everybody he talked to was like, "Hey, come to Eugene, find the love of your life, you go in the ministry," right? So I mean, I can't make
Okay.
any promises, but it happened to you, it happened for me, it happened to Ben. Right? How would you describe your experience in Eugene?
Well, my experience in Eugene was great, especially the first 3 months. I moved to Oregon, moved to Eugene in the summer of 2015, and it was amazing. I mean, really, there were, I think we had about 10 people, 15 maybe at one point, and we were all on the same page. We didn't have jobs and for the first couple months. So all we did was really just go out in campus, share our faith, have Bible talks, go get ice cream, and then go back to the house and spend the rest of the night together. We really got to build a family there, and it was great. We all had the same mindset, love God, make disciples, love each other, and have fun. Our days definitely reflected those goals. Like I mentioned, we got to spend quality time with God and with each other. We got to spend time in campus every single day that summer, and then we got to go back home and just spend more quality time. It was a lot of fun. And then going back a year later, it was a little bit different. Obviously, we had jobs and we have more responsibilities, but the foundation, the idea was still the same. I love God, um, love other people, and make disciples. And we got to do that, and we got to build a family as we were doing that. And so it was great. It was a lot of fun.
It was pretty cool. All the ice cream, ate too much ice cream.
We did have a lot of ice cream this summer.
Yeah, I went with like money because I got like a bunch of money from graduation, and like within that first year, it was all gone because of
Yeah, I mean, my savings that's how I survived the summer. Just
yeah,
my savings.
that was same. Yeah, that's the real input. Go with savings so you can eat ice cream. That was fun, right? At first none of us had jobs, and so we were all together all the time. We were either on campus, we were either eating ice cream, or we were at home at the Agate House watching like Disney movies or The Office or something. That was pretty fun. I know some people weren't fired up about living in a big household like that. I loved it, man. I had a good time. It's how did your experience in Eugene impact your faith?
Yeah, well, my experience in Eugene helped me grow in my faith in different ways, but there's two big ones. And the first one is that I really learned to rely on God more than on people. I come from a big church, including a big campus ministry. Um, it is easier, not easy, but easier to get get my faith, get my be able to get my my spiritual needs from other people, from big events, big ministry, big worship, instead of from God. And I think that's one of the things that I learned being in the mission team. I really had to learn to trust in God and rely my everything on God more than on people, because we were a smaller ministry that what I was used to. In the mission team, you don't have a lot of the things that you might have in a bigger church. I really had to make sure that I spend quality time with God. Otherwise, you're gonna get tired. And so I think that's one of the biggest things that I learned from the mission team, is just I had to rely on God and on other people. The other thing that this experience helped impacted my faith was that no matter how alone you feel, God is always there. Even when I stopped seeking, He was still there. The promise in Jeremiah 29, 29:13. The idea that if I seek God with all of my heart, I will find Him. And that's one of the things that God kept showing me time after time. Um, even when I stopped seeking Him, through the tougher times. The moment that I started seeking Him again, I was always able to find Him. And that's one thing that I think that's one of the two. Those are the two biggest things that this experience in Eugene impacted my faith. Rely on God more than on people, and have the faith that you will always find Him if you seek Him.
What would you tell somebody who's thinking about joining a mission team?
Well, if you're thinking of joining a mission team, not just Eugene but anywhere, I think it's really, really important that you go there with the right reasons, and as you prepare yourself to go into the mission team, it's really important that, like I mentioned earlier, that you are getting your faith, you're feeding all your spiritual needs from God, and more than other people, because it will be hard. It will be hard to. There will be hard times in the mission team. There will be times that you maybe might feel alone, or maybe might feel like maybe things might be moving forward, but you just have to go back to God, and just believe that, have the confidence that it's God who makes things grow, and not people. You can be part of a small ministry and still have an impact in the world. Have an impact in the campus ministry, have an impact in the community. It's not you who are making things move forward. It's not you who are changing the hearts of people. It's God. And no matter how small of a ministry it is, God is always moving. It's always changing people, and I think you just have to be confident and secure in that.
This is cool. This has been. I'll be honest. This has been fun for me. I've loved hearing what your guys' responses. I mean, anything else you'd want to speak to, or
I did find my wife through that
you
house,
did?
that church planning. If you come, your life will change. You might get a job. You know, you might find your spouse. I found my spouse, and actually, she was baptized. She was converted by people who came in the mission team. So I'm forever
That's so
grateful.
cool.
Thank you, Stacy.
Yosvan says thank you for baptizing his wife. Well, that's excellent, Yosvan. That's everything I got.